We got a rowdy group here. Very rowdy group. Any other injuries? Hey, good morning. No? Start on your backs. Yeah. Supta Baddha Konasana, which is soles of the feet together and your knees flop apart. If your back is sensitive, do you want to just grab those extra blocks? Yeah. Thanks. If your knees are sensitive, you could slide blocks under one or both. Yeah. There's plenty of room. Yeah, you go all the way. You go out there. You go to someone else's lawn. Hi, Katie. Good morning. We're starting on our backs in Supta Baddha Konasana.
Got it.
Soles of the feet come together. Yeah. And just start to arrive. Thanks. I got a couple extra blocks up here if anyone wants to borrow. Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 cork blocks there if you'd like to take one. Anchor your feet, feel your lower back. So it's normal to come to your mat and feel like you can't land, right? Like your brain is all over the place, your breath is all over the place, your thoughts are all over the place. That's the point of the yoga practice, to get present, to get centered, and to find your way, even in just to a moment of calmness. Blink your eyes open, take your feet flat like a little bridge pose. So your knees are gonna point towards the sky and your feet are about hips width distance apart. Good. Slide your right knee in towards your navel, grab below the kneecap and give it a good little squeeze. I'm up here demonstrating if you're unsure of anything. Yep. Slide the left leg forward and flex the left foot strong so the calf stays flush to the ground. Keep hugging the right knee in towards the navel and just pause here. More importantly, feeling like your lower back is spreading across the ground. Your shoulders are softening away from your ears. Good. Keep the right leg as close towards the torso as you possibly can, so no movement. And just lift your forehead up towards your knee. But when you lift your forehead up, you want to try not to crank your neck in. So I recommend looking up towards the sky. Hold there. Slide your arms forward alongside your body and hover. And then if you're okay with your lower back, float your left calf up off the ground. So you're kind of in this knee towards navel activation. Your lower back spreads. If your neck doesn't feel great in this, your hands could always go behind the head, or sometimes a block is helpful underneath the back of the head. There's so many different ways to adapt the poses. Make sure the breath is flowing here. Your left foot is flexed strong. Your right knee is drawing in and your arms are reaching forward. It's kind of like a Pilates roll up. Just hold. So I would look towards the sky just to take the dimension of the neck crank out. There you go. Keep the left leg in space. Extend the right leg up towards the sky. It might not straighten if your hamstrings are tight, just giving you a little heads up. So the right leg is straight and the left leg is forward. It's like a scissoring of your legs and your arms are activating forward. Keep pulling the shoulder blades up off the ground and hold. The Zoomers, it did not freeze. We're just holding. Yeah. So keep your right leg up for a second and bring your left leg up to meet your right leg. So now both legs are up towards the sky and there's a pretty strong activation of your navel to the back of the spine as you drop forward. Keep the left leg in space, lower the right leg down so it hovers the ground. Yeah. I like to just get to it. Yeah. Lower the right leg and hug the left knee in towards the navel, give it a squeeze. So the right leg is down on the mat and the left leg is hugging in and you're just relaxing your head. You're not doing anything yet. Boo. Good. Keep the left leg hugging in very, very tight and just lift the upper shoulder blades up off the mat and just start to draw yourself forward towards that left knee. So now as you do it, just find a lot of space through your neck. Then reach your arms forward like you're reaching forward towards the front skinny edge of the mat. Then from here, float the right calf. So everything's in steps. So you're just hovering here in space. Your lower back is drawing in. Keeping your right leg very strong, extend the left leg straight up towards the sky. It may have a little bend, so don't get, worried if you feel tight here. Keep reaching forward. Hands behind the head or neck if your neck is bothering you. Yeah. Keep the left leg up towards the sky. Lift the right leg up. So now you're both legs that are at a 90-degree angle. Lift a little higher. Good. Hug the knees in. Squeeze tight. Rock and roll a couple times. When you come up, cross your ankles. Plant your hands. Come to a tabletop position. I like starting this way because it gets you just kind of connected. Like your hands and your knees are on the ground. I'm really praying that those landscapers don't come back here. Curl the toes into the mat. Yeah. And then extend your right leg back, but curl the right toes into the mat. It's kind of like a half plank. Activate your right thigh. So your right toes are curled in, your left knee is on the ground. It's like a half plank. Your pelvis is neutral. Float the right leg up in space, just hip height, and make sure you don't open your hip. Keep your neck nice and neutral. Keeping your right leg in space, reach your left arm forward. Everything in little pieces here. Reach and stretch in opposite directions and fix your eyes on one spot. Yeah. Stay with it. Left hand down, right knee to the floor, tabletop. Extend the left leg back, activate that left leg. Keep the toes curled into the mat for a moment and just feel the neutralization of your pelvis. And then float the left leg up so it's hip height. That's it. Fix your eyes on one spot. Feel. Extend your right arm forward. So it's like opposite arm, opposite leg moving in space. Your hand, your palm is facing in. So it's like we're shaking hands. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Feel your outer left tricep grip in, press down. Hand and knee to the floor. Walk your hands forward about 2 or 3 inches. Make sure your index fingers are forward and the creases of the wrists are forward. Lift the knees up off the ground, lift the hips, down dog. So if you feel tight in your hamstrings, the recommendation is to bend behind the knees as much as you need. Yeah. Take up as much space on your mat. Any little movements that feel good in your body, you take them. Everything's a recommendation. May not work for you, or it may work great. Spread your toes wide, plug down, thumb, index finger, baby finger. Outer triceps grip in, shoulders move away from your ears. The goal is to have your arms straight, but not go into hyperextension. Right. And then breathe your hips way up off your shoulders this morning. Let your head just be free. Perfect. Roll forward to a plank position. From dog to plank, sometimes you have to walk it out. Yeah, sometimes your dog's a little shorter than you anticipated. So just walk it out so you stack your body up nice and neatly. Your shoulders over elbows, elbows over wrists. And I always say when you're in plank, you want to feel like you're leading a little with your chest, but not with your head or neck. Your head or neck is just an extension of your spine. If it's too intense, you drop your knees to the floor and don't beat yourself up this morning. Find what works. Contract your thighs, squeeze your outer thighs in, your outer ankles, and plug down to create more intensity for yourself so you can find the straight line of energy from the crown of the head to your heels and from the heels to the crown of the head. Stay with it. Rock a little bit more weight forward and hold. A little shaking, a little wobbling. It's just the body activating itself. Hips up and back, down dog. That was great. So now you found your sweet spot, hopefully. Roll forward, plank position in one motion. You looked really excited for that. Yeah. Drop your knees down, and when you drop your knees go behind you, so it looks like this. Yeah, it's super sunny, so my Zoomers may have a hard time seeing me. I'm just setting up for supported push-up to give you an idea. The knees are behind you. Bend your elbows in half to a supported push-up. So less is more. You don't want to dump your shoulders down. Spread your palms and keep your knees on the ground. Re-straighten your arms to supported plank. Pause. Fix your eyes on one spot. Lower halfway, supported push-up. Do it really slow. You're almost moving on a 3 count. And then re-straighten your arms, supported plank. So again, slow it down. Halfway to a push-up. Re-straighten your arms to supported plank. 2 more. Halfway down, less is more. Elbows close to you, Jode. There you go. Re-straighten your arms, supported plank. 1 more for good luck. Halfway to a supported push-up. Good. Re-straighten your arms, supported plank. Lift the knees, so now you're in one solid plane of energy plank position. Hips up and back, down dog. So those work great. If you're nursing an injury, you can add or subtract. You can lift your knees up if you prefer. So let's do one traditional one, or you can opt for that. Roll forward plank position. Drop the knees if you need, or halfway to your push-up. Good. Re-straighten your arms, plank. That was fun. Hips up and back, down dog. Getting out's always the hard part. Look to the top of the mat. Start to walk your feet there this morning. Arrive safe. So you can take 20 steps, or maybe you can hop like Erica. She has a lot of energy. Long spine weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Come all the way up. How much coffee have you had? Julie? I'm going to open the door, so you're going to have to pee in about 3 minutes. Arms down. That's the problem, because I go run in the morning, and if I have more than one cup, I'm like looking for people's bathrooms. Yeah, slide the arms straight up towards the sky. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. I've been known to run into basements. Long spine to prepare. Step to plank. I'll call my mom and my sister-in-law. I'm like, I'm coming to the bathroom. I have to pee really bad. Open the door. Halfway to a push-up, chaturanga. You could subtract or add here. Up dog or cobra. So I don't know what's going on in your body, but an up dog is really nice. A cobra is great. Press even through the hands, the tops of the feet. Hips up and back, down dog. Be mindful of your low back. Take a deep breath in. Let your head go, Amanda, if you can. There you go. Or your glasses are going to fall off. Yeah. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Get there nice and light. Long spine. If your hands don't make it, your hands press to your shins. That's how we do it. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Get some energy. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Just like that. It's sun A's. They're pretty traditional. Arm slide straight up towards the sky. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare. You can step. If you feel ambitious, float to a push-up, chaturanga, up dog, or baby cobra. Pick what feels best, or take it out altogether. There you go. Hips up and back, down dog. So if you're taking out the back bends, you can just hold plank. You can go to a dog. You can add in push-ups. Just giving you some options. Press down through your hands. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Long spine when you arrive. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. Go big. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Long spine to prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. Up dog to pull you through. Hips up and back, downward facing. It's like getting the cobwebs out. Keep your arms pretty straight. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Long spine weight forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Keep going. Arms slide up. Anchor. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Long spine to prepare. Step, or a light float to a low push-up. That was great. Up dog pulls you through. So it's like riding a bicycle. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Like there's a few things in life that are like that. Once you learn how to do something, it's like playing tennis, skiing, bike riding. Like you might not be good, but you could still do it. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Long spine weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. One more. Arms straight up, go big. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine to prepare. Step or float through a vinyasa. Up dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Long spine weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. So there's 2 blocks here. If someone doesn't have one, you're welcome to take it. And someone can have one of mine too. Have one block at the top of your mat if you can. Yeah. This is a good one. Yeah. Or use a water bottle. Water bottles work. Okay. So what's going to happen is we're going to stretch the straight arm straight up towards the sky, dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips and slide the block enough forward that you're from your hip to your shoulder, you've got a straight line of energy. So it looks like this. So it's almost like you're setting up for warrior 3. So a lot of good extension. Yeah. And of course you could do this without the block too, which is going to be more challenging. So a little bend behind the right knee, float the left leg up into space, kind of like you did in that little tabletop. So if the shoulder, neck, or anything is an issue, sometimes fisting the hands is a nice way to do this. The goal is to be as light as you can. If you don't need the block, that's wonderful and great. Your fingertips can just be on the ground, but keep the long extension. So essentially we're in an amended warrior 3, guys. We're balancing on our right leg and the left leg is lifted only hip height, but you're holding. Your neck is neutral, your breath is flowing, and you just want to feel. You want to feel the hugging in of your right hip. You want to feel a solid little bend behind the right standing leg because we don't want to go into hyperextension. And we want to feel the spiraling of that left thigh pointing towards the ground. 2 more breaths. So keeping all of this extension, take a giant step back into a low lunge. You may need to walk your right foot a little to the right for alignment and rise on your breath, crescent lunge. You're high on the ball of your back foot to just let your back heel, Amanda, pop up off the ground. You can always soften behind the left knee if you need to, if your lower back feels jammed up. A lot of times that's a good way to take it. We want our hip points moving forward. Arms energetically reach, and we just pause here in space. So when you work this way in the practice, it's working on proprioception in the body, which we need to keep ourselves, aging right the correct way. Stay with it. So to get out of the pose, you're going to hinge forward at your waist, pause, reach for the block, and float back to that warrior 3. Yep, using the block, spiraling that inner thigh. Land your left foot hips width distance, long spine on the exhale. So land your left foot to the top of the mat and then fold over the legs. Let the head go. Good. Try it again. Long spine on the inhale. Slide your hands to that block. Find that extension. Soften behind the left knee and then float the right leg up into space. Amended warrior 3 on the left side. Fine tune all the little things that we need to maintain the pose. Softening behind the left leg, gripping the left hip in, feeling the side ribs very long. I like a strong flex of that back foot. The breath is flowing and you're just finding alignment and space. Neck is neutral. So visualize that standing left leg, giant step back, crescent lunge. Find your breath, find your balance. Soften behind that right knee. You might need to scoot your left foot a little over to the left if the balance feels a little like a tightrope. Bend heavy into that standing left thigh. Energetically reach up. Hip points drive forward. Back leg super strong if that's where you're going with this. Keep the lower half of the body just the way it is. Start to hinge forward like you're really reaching and you're hovering. Reach for the block and let that right leg float back, warrior 3. Look forward with your eyes and let your right foot land at the top of the mat. Long spine on the inhale breath. Step your right foot forward. Exhale, fold. Let your head go. Long spine, prepare. Set it up again. Standing on your right leg, let your left leg float back up. Moving a little quicker now because you know where you're going. Bend into that standing right leg. Turn your back toes open a little. Land back, warrior 1. Yep. So back foot's at about a 70-degree angle. See if you can get your back foot to root down, Jode. And Erica, back foot. Yep. Left ribs need to spin forward. So the trick with warrior 1 is you want your stands wide enough so your hips can, you can move your hips as far as forward as they're going to go. Otherwise, you feel stuck. Anchor through the outer blade of that back foot. So as you hinge forward, you're just hovering. Hover and find the extension so you can kind of press off warrior 3. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I'm a yoga dork though. Keep the extension. Step your left foot forward, hips width distance, land it at the top of the mat, and then fold. Let the head go. Good. Long spine prepare as you plant your hands. out in front of you, side body long, right leg floats up. Soften behind the left knee. Keep the left hip gripping in. Find the extension to the side body. Keep all that. Turn your right toes out on an angle before you even go, and then bend and step back, warrior one. So land that right foot. Spin your right ribs forward. Plug the outer blade of your right foot into the mat. Yeah, if lower back is sensitive, you can pitch forward a little. That's going to take you out of that low back. It's a good little tool to know. Breathe. Enjoy the sunlight while we have it, because we're going to go into hibernation soon. Start to hinge forward. Pause. And you're in a hovering position. Plant the hands down. Float the right leg back. You're in a warrior three. Right leg lifted in space. Great job. Look forward with your eyes. Step your right foot forward to meet your left. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Good. If your feet, you want them closer for chair, walk them together. If not, separate them. Sit your hips heavy in your heels. Chair pose. Stick your butt way back. So you can play. Feet can be hips distance. Yeah, little separation. Weight in your heels. Arms are nice and straight. Neck is neutral. Press up to stand up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Here we go, sun bees. Arms go straight up. Heavy in your heels for chair. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Long spine sets you up. You're going to move through your vinyasa of choice. So adding or subtracting push-ups, upward facing, cobra. Meet me in a down dog when you get there. Right foot lands, back foot turns from the back of the mat. More traditional warrior one. Come on up. Hands back down to the floor. Don't go on automatic. I do that all the time. Chaturanga. Up dog pulls you through. You don't even realize you're doing it. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot forward, back foot turns, rise, warrior one. Hands back down. Let your breath move you. Halfway to a push-up. Up dog pulls you through, or cobra, you pick. Hips up and back, down dog, be still. Good. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Long spine to prepare you. Exhale to fold you. Sit in your heels, chair pose. Stick your butt way back in chair. It's just the forest. They don't care. Yeah. Heavy in your heels. The forest people. Shoot up to stand up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Arms slide straight up. From the top's always easier. Heavy in your heels for chair. Dive over, bent knees. Let your head go. Long spine sets you up. Step or float through your vinyasa. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, down dog. Land your right foot forward. Now you're moving on your breath. Warrior one. Hands back down. Your exhale breath. When you get to down dog, the left foot lands, the back foot turns, rise. Hands back down, chaturanga. Yep. Up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat, get there light. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Heavy in your heels for chair. Shoot up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Is that the alarm for the 10 o'clock Dead and Company tickets that we're going to miss? Because we're doing yoga. Call Donna and tell her to get the Dead and Company tickets. Sit heavy in your heels, chair pose. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. I don't know where I want to see them, so I can't decide today. Long spine to prepare. Step or float through a vinyasa. Definitely not city fields. Up dog pulls you through. It's like going to a foreign country. Their farewell. They've been saying goodbye for a long time. Yeah, right foot forward, back foot turns, warrior one. This is it. Warrior one. Until they find someone else. Correct. Hands back down through a vinyasa. Keep it moving. When you get to your down dog, step your left foot forward, turn your back foot strong, rise, warrior one. Good. Back down we go through a vinyasa. Plank to a push-up. Up dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. In your down dog, breathe your right leg up and back to a three-legged down dog and just pause. Just be careful of the umbrella behind you. Try not to open your hip. Flex your right foot strong. Hug your outer hips in, feel your triceps grip in. Keep the lift of the right foot, come forward to a three-legged plank. So your right foot's just hovering the ground and you're in plank with your, with your right foot hovering, that's it. Right knee in towards your navel, scoop out your belly, look forward with your eyes. Arms are straight up and down. Extend the right leg up and back like you're moving through like thick molasses. Right foot flexes. Come forward to a three-legged plank. Let the foot hover first. Then hug the right knee in. Keep your arms straight. There you go. Extend the right leg up and back, three-legged down dog. One more, let the right foot hover as you come to a plank. Hug your right knee in and up, scoop up the belly, look forward with your eyes. Step the right foot smack in between your hands. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Grab anywhere in the front of your right shin. You're coming into triangle from the ground up. So your hips are gonna go open. Most of you are facing towards the pool. Amanda's gonna face towards the house. You can use a block to the outside of your right calf. Your back leg is on a strong angle. You're grabbing anywhere on the front of the right shin. Yeah. Or block to the outside of the calf. So Jode, feel like you're pulling the pant leggings up your leg. There you go. So you have to kind of hook your hip under. Stack your shoulders, look sideways, look up if it's available to you. And then breathe. There's a sensation that you're leaning back a little bit, but by all means, you're not going into your lower back. Stay with it. Look down, left hand to hip. You're going to float to a half moon. If you have a block, I recommend using it. Move it enough in front of you off the edge of the right baby toe that your side ribs are long. Yep. Extend your left arm back up towards the sky once you find your balance. Yep. Watch your right foot has a tendency to want to turn in. Think of your right leg as Tadasana. Float your left leg into space. Anything you want to add here at Shavasana, working on balance, you're welcome to add that in now. If not, just fine-tuning this and breathing. If you added in anything fun, release into a regular Ardha Chandrasana. Nice work. Slow, steady transition back to triangle pose. You have to go really, really slow. Pull up on the front of the shin and it re-extend the left arm up towards the sky. Nice work. It's okay. Look to the floor, circle both hands down. Step to a plank, lean on your left hand for Vashisthasana side plank. I like doing this by staggering the feet or dropping the bottom knee. Yeah, your alignment is first and foremost. Adding anything here that feels available to you feels good. Lifting of the leg, tree pose. Good. You could just think about those things too and not do them. You got it. From your bottom hip through your top hip, you want to extend up so the hip stays squared off. Really good work. Stay with it. Look down first, then find plank. Pause. And let's go right to the other side. Take your right hand in front about an inch and roll. You're already set up. Your mind is already there. You could stagger the feet. Lift from your bottom hip through your top hip. Good stuff. See if you can point your left toes towards the sky without your hip opening. Stay with it. Plank position, slow transition. Add in a slow push-up if you have it in. You Upward facing pulls you through, nice and slow. Hips up and back, down dog. In this down dog, breathe your left leg up and back, three-legged down dog. So just lift the leg in space and pause. Grip the right hip in strong, plug down evenly through your hands, let your head be free, and then roll out to a three-legged plank so your left foot hovers the mat. Hug your left knee in and up, scoop up the belly. Arms are active and engaged and straight. Your eyes are looking forward. Left leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Come forward to a three-legged plank first. So the foot hovers the ground, and then the left knee draws in and up, scoop up the belly. Extend the left leg up and back, three-legged down dog. One more, come forward, three-legged plank. Hug your left knee in and up, scoop up the belly. Look forward. Step your foot forward and through to the center of your mat. Turn your back foot on a strong angle from the ground up, find triangle. Pulling up anywhere on the front of the shin and extending the right leg up. Yeah. You want to feel like you're leaning back a little bit. Yeah. Nice. Good job. Hook the left hip under, guys. This is awesome. The transition slow. Look down first. Arm can stay up or the right hand can come to hip. I like the hand to the hip. And then float forward using the block if you need it. Half moon. The block kind of has to come a little off the edge of that left baby toe and enough forward that your side ribs are long. Yeah, and anytime we play with our balance, we play with, falling. It's going to happen. Flex the right toe strong and lift from your inner right thigh. Add in what you need here. If you added in a bind on the first side, try and, recreate that here. Looks good, Tracy. The imperfections make the pose interesting. If you added anything fun, release into a regular Arda. And then a really smooth transition back to triangle. So as you step back to triangle pose, see if you could recreate the shape. Pull up on the front of the shin, spread the collarbone, spread the chest, and look up with your eyes. So a little different today. Lead with your top arm and come up to stand. Bring your hands to your hips, okay? Turn your left toes in, turn your right toes out. Right toes are gonna face the back skinny edge of the mat. Bend into your right thigh and track your right knee over your right ankle. Then spread your collarbone. So all we're doing is we're taking warrior two, but you're facing the back skinny edge of the mat with your right foot. There's no turning your chest. Your ribs are stacked nicely over your hips. Yeah. Turn your left toes, Amanda, a little towards the right. There you go. Keep going. And then wrap your inner right thigh open. Close your eyes and breathe. Jen, try the same thing. Turn your left toes in a little. Your left toes, your back foot. It's going to be a little easier. There you go. Lengthen your tailbone and sit a little heavier down, like you're sitting in squat, which is a temporary sensation. Two more breaths. Oh, classic song. Rest your right arm on the top of your right thigh, or if you're looking for more intensity, kind of nudge your right elbow into the inner part of your right thigh with your palm open. Stretch your left arm up. So you're going to create this hip opener without your hand touching anything today. Soften the right shoulder, left arm straight up or left arm up and over, depending on how this feels for you. So your arm can just be on the top of the thigh, or you can nudge your elbow in here, and that's going to create the external rotation. 5 breaths. Side ribs turn, right hip grips in, and the outer blade of your left foot presses firm into the mat. Circle the top arm in front of the face and let that momentum pull you back up, warrior two. Straighten the right leg on track. Take your hands to your hips for a moment. Turn your right toes in. Turn your left toes from your left hip out towards the front skinny edge of the mat. Once you think you found your stance, drop your hips and track your left knee over your left ankle, and then re-spread your arms nice and wide. Yeah. And then find your breath here. Wrap your inner thigh open. Yeah. And then maybe close your eyes because you have to kind of meditate in the pose so you can be here, be present. Lengthen your tailbone down. Embrace the feeling. When you think you want to give up, sit a little deeper. Good work. Keep the shape of the lower half of the body. Rest your left arm on the top of the left thigh. Reach your right arm up. If you know you want to work a little deeper into the hip, you can take your elbow and press the inner part of the thigh with the palm of your left hand facing the sky. Right arm straight up or up and over. Good. When the right arm reaches up and over, you're really anchoring through the outer blade of your right foot and reaching strong. So creating a strong line of energy. Soften the shoulder away from your ear. If you notice your left shoulder is kind of working its way up, see if you can relax it down a little. Grip the left hip in, turn the bottom ribs, and then settle in here. Couple more breaths. Circle the top arm in front of the face without too much bounce. Come back up, warrior two. Yeah. Take it to the floor through a vinyasa. Yeah. Keep it moving. Up dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. When you arrive in your dog, look where you want to go. Step or float top of mat. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Good. Drop your arms. Standing on your left leg, bend your right leg up into a tree. I'm always so grateful when I get this pose in my practice. I'm like, thank you, Lord. This is good because it's like basic, but it's challenging. Hands to prayer. Yep, you could do anything with your arms. You could open your branches, spread them up towards the sky, grip the outer hips in. Fix your eyes, maybe look up a little. Good, so you're not gonna let your arms drop this morning. You're gonna stay up, shoulder width distance apart. Without using your hands, if you could try, bend your right leg up and towards your navel, flex the foot, kind of like we did on our backs before. Flex the foot. Just pause here for a moment. Just feel your body working. It's subtle, but it's effective. So from here, we're going to go into a dancing Shiva, which is the twisting version of standing leg raise. Okay, so you can either grab the outside of your right thigh with your left hand and peel your right arm back, or we're going to go to the twisting one, Alex. So grab the outer blade of the foot. Yeah, you know this one. To take your left hand to the outside of the right foot. Other left hand. Yep. And then you open up and you twist open. You look sideways, look up. Don't get intimidated by this posture. A lot of good stuff happens just by having the leg bent. A lot of times we need to have the leg bent so we don't go into our lower back, right? So find what works. We're staying for a few more breaths. You're gonna look sideways or look back. Good. Pull around to center, arms up, leg up. Slide your hands to prayer. Put the elbow twist to the right. Good. Keeping your feet, your knees, your shins, everything lined up. Yeah. Nice work. Weights in your heels. Watch that your left knee doesn't slide past your right. Look sideways, look up. 2 more breaths. Chair pose, pull it around, come out slow. Sit a little deeper in your chair this morning, guys. You could do it. Shoot up to stand up, drag it to prayer, hard, drop your arms. Stand on your right leg, bend your left leg up, tree pose. Yeah, find anywhere along the inside of the thigh. Just don't let the foot kind of press into the knee and you're in good shape. Hands to prayer. You can grow your branches and fix your eyes. And then find some, focus. So keep the lift. Don't let anything drop without using your hand. Just swing that left leg forward, bend the knee, and really feel the lower belly draw in and up. Arms stay really energized. Take it into the twist, grabbing the outside of the foot or the outside of the knee and peel the left arm sideways or back. Yeah. Just do it with the bent leg if you feel like you're going into your low back. Yeah. Stand up really tall. Get out of your lower spine. Breathe your collarbone and your chest open. Keep the lift of the leg. Don't let it drop. Pull around to center. Arms up, leg up. The leg can be bent in half. Totally fine. Keep the arms moving straight up. Lower the left foot. Sit deep into your heels for chair. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale the breath. Hook the elbow. Twist to the left. Watch that the 2 knees don't slide past each other. Bring your feet, Jody, a little closer together. Yes. Even if with the feet separated, you could still get this. If you side crowed on the right, you want to do it here on the left. Open up your arms if you want a little bit more, or just stay. These look great. It's all about evenness in the body, the alignment, and the breath. Stay with it. Erica Squared are doing well. Yep. Drop your seat 2 inches lower. There you go. Nice work. Chair pose, pull it around. Heavy in your heels. Yep. Drop your seat all the way down. Keep going. Boat Navasana. So a couple ways to take boat. If your lower back isn't great, you can have your hands down. I like it because it gives you a little connection to the mat. And the shoulder blades lift. The legs do not have to be pinned straight here. They can have a 90-degree angle. Good. Good. Then from here, keeping your hands down, if you prefer, you could play with it. Lower halfway, Ardha Navasana. So having the feet hover the mat is going to be the most intense. At like a halfway mark or even in a 90-degree angle, this is all options. So find what works for you. If you're looking for a lot of intensity, hovering everything is the way we're going to go. Press down to lift up using your deep core muscles. Navasana boat. You seem thrilled. Ardha Navasana. The eyes of the shoulders lift, the lower back spreads. Navasana, pull it up. You got it. One more. Ardha Navasana, hold and hover. Navasana, pull it up. Cross the ankles, plant the hands, step or float through your vinyasa of choice. Have the block at the top of the mat. You're going to need it. Right foot forward, back heel lifts, crescent lunge. Come on up. You're high on the ball of your back foot. You can always drop your knee if you need to modify. Hands to prayer at heart. Lean forward, hook the elbow, and twist. Yeah. Grip the right hip in super strong. Activate the back leg. I could not get that out. Lean back a little bit with your torso. So the goal is to get the crown of the head to line up with that back left heel. Stay with it. A little bit more breath. Point your top elbow towards the sky and twist your collarbone and chest open. Hands to frame your front foot, pause. This is where the block's going to come into place because we're going to go into revolved Ardha Chandrasana. So using the block could be helpful. Place it out in front of you enough, or claw the mat, or use the water bottle. Left hand down. Right before you go, right hand comes to the flat part of your back, and left hand on that block enough forward, and then pop up. It's kind of like an amended warrior 3. So as you lift up, the right hand's on the flat part of the back. This is giving you information. Back foot is flexed. We've been practicing this. Everything's very neutral. And then start to look sideways and look up. And then maybe the right arm extends to the sky. Don't get caught up on that. Hand can stay on the flat part of your back. The trick here is to lift from your inner thigh, flex the foot strong, and look sideways, look up. Some days this feels easier. Other days you feel like you are just like clay, hard clay. So just breathe through whatever you're feeling right now. Grip the right hip in, lift from the inner back thigh, and twist open. 2 more. So we're going to step back into twisting triangle. So see if you can make it a seamless transition where your back foot turns kind of like a short warrior 3, a short warrior 1. Your left hand on the instep of the foot, the right hand on the flat part of the back, and then you peel open. Twisting triangle. That's it. I'm telling you, those water bottles do a lot of, of good. Steer the hips up and back. Nice. So you can get your back foot, Jen, flat to the ground. So you have to turn it kind of like to a 70-degree angle. There you go. It's like warrior 1. Hands to frame your front foot, step through a vinyasa, or go right to a dog if that's your thing pulls you through. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot lands, crescent lunge, have your block at the front. We're going to try and make the transition a little more seamless because you know where you're going. High on the ball of your back foot, hip points forward. Drag your hands to your heart. Inhale the breath, lean out first, create a lot of length, and then hook and twist. If you get here, it doesn't feel great in your body, you drop your back knee. Look sideways, look up. We want to try to avoid looking back because that's a tendency of rounding our spine. Erica C, point your elbow towards the sky. That may give you a little bit more, or you can even fist your top hand into your bottom flat palm and see if that helps you. Good. Grip the bottom hip under, activate your back leg, lean back a tiny bit so the crown of the head lines up with that back heel. That's what you're looking for. Take the round out of the spine. Nice, Alex. Perfect. So if you can seamlessly transition to revolved Ardha, you reach for the block, your hand comes to the flat part of the back, and you lift up. So the right hand is down, the left hand on the flat part of the back, and like looking into space. It's good sometimes to stay here. All this is, we're looking for neutral, and this may be it for today. If you can peel open, go for it. If not, just stay. Grip the left hip in, activate your inner right thigh, flex your right foot strong, look sideways or look up. Twist a little bit more. Transition smoothly, twisting triangle. Step your right foot back, move your block underneath your shoulder. Back foot's turned in enough that it's like a warrior 1 position. Both legs straight. Okay. Step your back foot closer to you. Yeah, and make it like a tighter, shorter, like a warrior 1 with straight legs. And then look sideways or look up. You got it. Your hand can stay on the flat part of your back. 2 more. Hands to the floor, step to a plank. Plank, and you're welcome to clasp your hands, interlace them. You need your elbows to come in a little closer so they're not winged out. You could modify with your knees down if this is too intense for this morning. Crown of the head forward, trying to get the round out of our back, lengthen the tailbone. Draw the pit of the belly in and up, contract the thighs, activate the legs. Fix your eyes. Stay here or start to walk into a dolphin pose. That's essentially down dog on your forearms. When you go to dolphin, the crown of the head doesn't touch the ground. It's just a tighter, shorter down dog on your forearms. Yes, this really creates a lot of strength in the body and the mind. Lower the right foot down, nice and slow. Keep the hips high, breathe the left leg up. You're in dolphin pose. Keep gripping those outer triceps in. Lower the left foot down, pause. Good try, Amanda. It's hard when there's objects around and the ground isn't even. Drop to your knees. Child's pose with your hands behind you, your knees together, your feet together. And I like to grab the base of my feet and let my forehead rest. And just kind of let yourself kind of flop to the ground for a sec, but stay connected. Hands out in front of you, press up one more time, downward facing dog. Half pigeon. Fold. You got it. Switch, left side, half pigeon. Left side, half pigeon. Feed that left leg forward. One side always feels better than the other. And then just melt. Good. Use the strength of your body. Start to come up. Lean onto the left side and swing your right leg around. Bring your block with you if you know you're going for more of a restorative back bend, which is totally fine. Lay down. Set your feet up so they're about hips width distance. Robot the arms and lift the tailbone up for the first one. Take bridge pose or supported bridge with a block underneath. Kind of drive down into the mat to lift straight up, or clasp the hands underneath the shoulders, underneath the low back is the more traditional way. Yeah. If you're going to put the block underneath, the highest setting is going to be the most, more intense. Yeah. So Chrissy, if you're okay with the neck, interlace the hands around the block and then have your arms straight. Perfect. If you feel ready to move on here and would like to go up into a full wheel, you'll flip your palms, you'll bring your chin to your chest. Everybody's bodies and minds are a little different. So if you feel that you want to go for a deeper back bend, now is the calling. No pressure. Stay where you are if this is what's speaking to you. That was very exciting, Erica. It's a good thing the camera's on me. Yeah. Only if you all saw that at home. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was graceful. Tuck the chin lower down. Exhale the breath. At least she's laughing. Good. Let's take one more. So you can flip the palms, bring the chin to the chest, go up to a full wheel, or even better, if you want to slide a block underneath, take the supported bridge with the legs lifted. That's a really nice way to take this pose as well. It's more of like supported shoulder stand. Yeah, you pick. Yep, stay for 3 more breaths. If you're in the back bend, the deep back bend. Good. Exhale your breath, come down. If you're on a block, don't just pull it out from underneath. Lower your feet first safely, then remove the block underneath and lower down. Take your feet to the width of the mat and let the knees knock in. This is great for just neutralizing the pelvis. And then from here, you're going to windshield washer your knees to the right. So your right leg's going to kind of be in a half supta baddha and your left thigh is going to be down on an angle. And then your right foot can cross over the top of the left thigh for an IT band stretch. The hands can come behind the head for a little twist, or just a regular supine twist if you're more into that. Let the right foot slide off the left thigh to begin, and then neutralize. Feet to the width of the mat, knees to the sky. Drop your knees over to the left. So the left thigh is kind of in a half supta baddha. The right thigh is down on an angle, hands behind the head. And then you can take your left foot and slide onto the top of the right thigh for a little IT band stretch. To get out, let the foot slide off the thigh first and then neutralize. Feet to the width of the mat, knees to the sky. And then reach for the outer blades of your feet for happy baby. Draw the knees down around the ribs. Lengthen the tailbone. If you can't grab the base of your feet, grab behind your thighs this morning. No sweat. Lengthen the tailbone here. Feel the lower back spread across the mat. Feel the upper shoulder blades plug down. Hug the knees evenly in towards the chest. Give them a big squeeze. And then find your way to Shavasana, which is the master pose of them all. Complete rest. Make yourself comfortable. Allow yourself to check out for the next minute or two. Not that long. Take a deep breath in. Complete it with a full exhale breath out. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe stretch the arms up over the top of the head. Come back slow. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Any movements that feel great for you. And then however you like to rock up. Some of us like to kind of roll sideways and press up. Some of us just rock up. And sit up nice and tall with your eyes closed if you can. Good. And just feel the effects of this morning's practice. Sometimes it's more body, sometimes it's more mind, sometimes it's more breath, sometimes it's all of it. Hands to prayer. Bow your head for a second. Always have gratitude. So important. Lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste. Go out there, have a great one. Enjoy the weather. I'll see you next time. I will do this Wednesday and Friday next week. I'm in person at Revel on Tuesday. It's a busy week for me. See you soon.